Hello and welcome to my mirror melt tutorial. This is thanks to, if I remember the name right, Rivington Films. My apologies. Um, you wanted to know how to do something from this effect, so I'm making a small tutorial to show basically how I did it. I apologize for the wait and I thank you for the patience. Weeks, my weeks are so eclectic. Like everything and every day can happen at any given time, and oh my god. So anyway. Push play on here. This is basically what's going to go on. Touches the mirror, light happens, mirror grows out, and there you go. And you can see the medicine cabinet inside there. Almost said glove box. You can see my glove box because I keep my car in the bathroom. Excuse me. So that's pretty much it. I made this about a year ago, almost now. So I'm not gonna do this exactly the way I did, and I can't actually find the exact project file from this. So I'm just using an earlier project file from when I was doing that effect with an older piece of footage, and there are all kinds of imperfections in there, like that. Like this, like I overlaid a piece of, well, I comped a piece of this video distorted on top of itself and masked it and blah blah blah, so it looks all uneven and crap like that. So my finished version does not look like that. But so that's why if you see any weird looking stuff in here, that's why, because just older piece of video I was learning, and there you go. First thing I did is you can see the medicine cabinet behind there. I take the piece of footage, grab the pen tool, and just do a mask, just a jagged little mask there, and on the layer. Oh, and it'll probably be add by default. So you just click on where it says add. Click M to open the mask up. Add, and then click on the add. Click on subtract, and there you go. You get a hole in there, and it's going to be just like this when you move it through. When you move the position thing through. So I picked about where the hole would stop forming. Click on the mask expansion stopwatch, and then play with this until the positive or negative values until you get where you want it to be, and then bring it down to about where it's going to start. And granted, I wouldn't have added keyframes yet. In fact, I'll take that keyframe off. And you bring you bring the values all the way down till it stops. And again, it would be perfectly where my finger is. For this purpose, it's not. It's just showing you basically what I did. So this is the start of what you do. You got the piece of footage. You've got a mask that grows over time, and that's the essentially how you did it. Okay, that's it. I'm kidding. Okay, so here another tip that I found useful throughout the last couple of years or so. If I got this mask here, and I want to move it around, but God, I don't want to have to drag every single point on here. If you're not familiar with masks and stuff like that, um, other than like rotoscoping or lightsabers or something, if you take the mask and you just grab any line on here, I don't know about let's try a point. Yeah, you grab anywhere on the actual mask and you double left click it, you can then move the mask as a whole piece anywhere around the place you want to. Like I put it over here, and it grows out from over there, which makes absolutely no sense. And see, as long as you, no, yeah, double click it and bring it back about where it was. So I'm just going to put it about where it was, and it opens up. So that's a little tidbit for you. Um, all right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bevel alpha it. And I'm going to go to effect, where was it? Perspective, bevel alpha, click on there. It's set to 0 at first for thickness and all that good stuff. You just tweak this, what you do, bring the indicator over here, and it's already doing its job there. Click on bevel alpha, and this is just to give it a sense that the glass is three-dimensional and not like a layer. So you just kind of edge thickness, play with that until it gets where you want, until it's as thick as you want it to be. Play with the light angle because obviously try to match it to about the light in the room. So that's about good for now. That gives you an idea. Light color, you can play with that, and light intensity. It all depends on the lighting in the room. So take the mask off and try this. And you can see it kind of looking, it's not perfect. It kind of looks like rubber almost, or plastic or something, but it'll do some other, add some grain to that. And in fact, I'm not going to go that. But if you go to, effect, noise and grain, and probably add grain, just a bunch of other stuff, but just probably add grain, and then click on full output instead of render or preview area, and just add a little bit of grain. You might not even see it, but it'll add to it. It won't look so like liquidy. But that's how you get that basically. And then what I did is turbulent displace, which is effect, and I know what you're thinking, distort, turbulent displace. Wait a minute, now the entire mirror is messed up. What do I do? Well, first of all, I've now got a thing where my hand touches the mirror and it opens it up, and it's kind of broken up a little bit now because it's turbulently displaced. If that's a word, it's a word now in the dictionary of James. Yeah. So yeah, actually, not even sure if that actually, yeah, it does. I think, yeah. So that gives it kind of a liquidy sort of. That's kind of cool. Anyway, and then hold the space bar and then click, and you can drag stuff anywhere. Hold down the space bar, drag stuff anywhere. I'll just give you little tips throughout here. And yeah, that's another thing, is up here it'll bevel alpha the entire thing. So what you can do is expand, like you can if you're just like when you're done, like make the composition settings like a tad smaller. I'm like pointing with my finger on the screen like you can see it. Make the comp settings up here, go to composition settings, and play with the composition settings a little bit, or just grab on the footage and bring it out a little bit until you don't see the actual bevel alpha of the edge of the video. By the way, Control Z fixes almost anything, just like duct tape and super glue in the real world. But yeah, that's how you can do that, so you don't have bevelly, it doesn't look like a little plaque. Yeah, bevel alpha, awesome effect. Alright, so next thing I'm going to do is I've got the footage. Before I did anything, you Control D, or on a Mac, I guess it's Command D, or edit, duplicate, either one of them. It'll duplicate your footage right above here, and let's see, so that'll come up. So now I've got this. I wouldn't have had the mask on there yet, so it just looks like this. So what I did is I took took the pen tool again, or it doesn't matter which mask tool you do, and I took about, don't want to take that off, took about the area where it would start to go, where the hole would start, and I put the mask around there. And so again, I did the expansion sort of thing, like what's going on here is now actually, yeah, because I've already done it. What I did is I took, you see how it's just a little bit ripply right in here, like distorted, but when I take off the layer, it's the whole thing. What I did is I took the mask and did an expansion thing just like I did in the other one, except it's just a plain mask. And that was just so I could hide the fact that the entire mirror is messed up. So as you see, when I drag the slider all around, it's not a slider really, but when I drag the values all around, it expands and shrinks the mask. So pretty much, yeah, so I did the mask. I've got it like about there. Drag it about to where I want it to be ripply and distorted, kind of looking around there. I grow the mask out a bit to where it needs to be, or where I want it to be. Add a keyframe with the stopwatch. Grow down to the beginning of it, and then I'm going to add another stopwatch, because if I take off that keyframe, actually, it's still like that. So bring the slider down to where you need it to be, and then grow that or shrink it down to nothing, which adds another keyframe automatically. So now, turn off the bottom layer. Open this up, and it does, all you see is a feathered little, oh yeah, and I feathered it a bit too. So I think I feathered this one as well. So now, basically, this is what you get. Now, I didn't add the light. I'm not tweaking the picture here because that's not the point of this purpose, but it opens up now, and that's really all I did. I think I mentioned like a CC burn film and then unmelt at one point, but I think I was just playing with those because I saw those effects in this project, and it's been a while since I looked at it. So I think I was just playing with those at the time. So I think I mentioned to Rivington Films there that I use those effects. I don't remember if I actually did or not. I don't think I did, but this looks about the melty. Basically, all that is bevel alpha and turbulent displace. If I take off the bevel, it looks like that, and if I take off displace, it just looks like that. So you just add those two effects and play with them and do the mask expansion, and that's all I did. So like I said, I'm not sure. Whoa. Mute the TV. I'm not sure if that's going to help you with your specific project, but if it at least this is how I did mine. So if you need any other help with anything, let me know, bro, and we'll work it out. So I hope this helped someone in some capacity, if nothing else. Thanks for watching.